Oof. Okay. I am. No, I guess I'm live. Zero viewers. So, okay. Delay's not too bad. That works. Delay. User delay. So, I guess I'll be back. Um, Hello? 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 Okay, that's better. One Mississippi, two Mississippi, three Mississippi, four Mississippi. I'll be back. And so what's the command to block camera? All three. Control two. Control. Control three. And Alt. No, no. Shift three. Okay. And I am back. So, checking. So we're still waiting for official broadcast. We're still waiting for official broadcast, but in the meanwhile, some facts about it. This one. So here's just some images you can see. You can see right now. And a fun fact about this rocket is that Blue Origin has made two rockets, right? New Shepard and New Glenn. The first one was New Shepard, and New Shepard was designed for a rocket for space tourism. You could actually, you could fit. I'm talking to myself, aren't I? Oh, so a fun fact is that you can fit the New Shepard. You can fit New Shepard inside of New Glenn Parenting. So like, if it wanted SpaceX could not SpaceX, Blue Origin could theoretically, um, oh yeah, this infographic shows it perfectly. Fit New Shepard inside of New Glenn because it has a 7 meter wide fairing, which is massive. Yeah, and some other fun facts about it include that it's 320 meters tall, which is a giant, which is like a kind of a massive among most rockets. It's still like um is small compared to like I would say small, but like less impressive compared to Starship or Artemis, but it's still definitely up there for sure. And going back, New Shepard, the first rocket produced around 110,000 pounds of thrust, right? For the first stage, the first stage of New Glenn alone makes 3.85 million pounds of thrust, almost like 30 times more, 38 times more than New Shepard. So New Glenn's main competitors will be Vulcan, Falcon 9, and Falcon Heavy. And so compared to the Falcon 9, for example, um it's around twice as powerful and has a way bigger nose cone flaring. In my opinion, personally, because this rocket is designed to be reusable to land back, uh, because this rocket is designed to land back. Problems. Yeah, because this design is meant to land back, means the main competitor to SpaceX, and Vulcan is still there, but mostly it'll like affect SpaceX because SpaceX already kind of dominated over Vulcan rocket. Vulcan rocket's pretty cheap, but SpaceX profit margin and price make it almost hard to compete. So Blue Origin also making a at least a first stage reusable rocket will definitely affect SpaceX. And also Blue Origin is trying to buy ULA anyway, the company making the Vulcan rockets. So yeah, that. This mission is designed to carry a payload called the Blue Ring Pathfinder. It's a Blue Origin design payload. That's so comparing specs of the rocket, it's pretty equivalently spec to the Falcon Heavy. Oh, okay. While although New Glenn can has a much bigger fairing capacity, I mean it can hold a lot of more stuff. Compared to the Falcon 9 or Falcon Heavy. So for us, SpaceX will still have a market for the smaller, for the smaller vehicles that don't require too much things. But for the heavy class rockets like New Glenn and uh, Falcon Heavy, SpaceX Club competitor New Glenn, obviously. And for specs, Falcon Heavy is 230 feet. Falcon Heavy is 230 feet. New Glenn is 320 feet. And a max payload capacity of the Falcon Heavy is around 140,000 pounds. When you fully expend it, but that usually like never happens because it's really wasteful and it's much better to like try to save try to save the three boosters. Okay, so for them to send us for the Falcon Heavy sent into lower orbit, it can send around 30,000 kilograms to lower orbit, around 66,000 pounds. Meanwhile, to contrast, the New Glenn can send up to 99,000 pounds to lower orbit. And to GTO while being reusable, it can send the Falcon. It can send around 13,600 kilograms or 30,000 pounds for New Glenn, and around 17,600 pounds for Falcon Heavy. I remember we were talking about the different variant sizes. Um, the 7 meter variant of New Glenn allows it to carry this this yeah the 7 meter tall variant allows you to carry around 228 meters of payload volume. A contrast to Falcon Heavy smaller 5.2 meter tall variant. No, remember, sorry. Okay, New Glenn can carry has a Fahrenheit of 22 meters. Contrast that to Falcon Heavy with three with a with a 13.1 meter high fairing. Check back in the SpaceX stream. Oh, it started. Okay, that's good. So it looks like the live broadcast has just started. They don't have a timer for some reason. This is really weird. But the projected time to launch is around 10 o'clock. Ooh, commenter. What milestone will it achieve? In my personal opinion, it's really hard to tell. So I feel like for sure it leaves the launch pad. I have a feeling it also commits stage separation. So I think it for sure get to orbit. Well, not for sure. I think probably get to orbit though. But I don't know about landing though, because landing like took SpaceX many years to do. And while I do think like Blue Origin could do it faster, I just don't know like how fast that would be. And it's really unrealistic for it to do it on this first attempt. So that's my answer. It'll for sure get to orbit, and it might attempt a landing, but it probably won't be that close. Which is still really impressive because the main objective is just to get to orbit. Because even Blue Origin themselves acknowledge the fact that well, it'd be highly unrealistic to go to land on the first attempt. Although stuff like this has been done, like SpaceX the first time attempted, they did catch a booster, which is like really complicated, but SpaceX already had a bit of experience in like landing and reusing boosters for many years at that point. So, I mean, I hope this is good, but yeah. So yeah, this is just thing. Any questions about it by chance? So, looking at it, it's projected to launch in around 27 minutes. So at 10 o'clock exactly it should land. Are they taking any payload? Yes, they are taking some payload. They're taking a Pathfinder satellite. What more a Pathfinder satellite and try to put it around orbit? Yeah, but yeah, that's really it. The Pathfinder satellite, I think, originally was meant to try to land on Mars, but due to scheduling conflicts, they couldn't. because of weather conditions and stuff. So they couldn't put an orbiter on Mars. But yeah, that's it. So while they're talking, here's a flight plan for it. See, so first it lifts off near Port Canaveral. Then it ascends. Stage separation, which is when the booster will turn around and try to land on a drone ship named Jacqueline. And then after that, the second stage continues on. Farron jettison. Up those massive 22-meter tall Farrons jettison, and then payload separate, and that's it. And in the second stage, we'll re-enter over the ocean, and the second stage will not be attempted to recover. So so you know how like SpaceX has the grid fins, grid fins. New Glenn will have So you can find a good photo here. New Glenn will have like fins. You can see in any of these. Yeah, on the side of the rocket, you have fins to move around. Contrast that to like SpaceX's grid fins. Okay. Let's go back to the stream. Ooh, okay, so this is it. So here, we could hear what they're listening to. It's muted. That's not good.
Orbital class rocket, and it's built on a reusable first stage.
And speaking of reusability, let's look at the aft section there of New Glenn. One of the things that is critical to New Glenn, of course.
I'll mute us for now, so we get some more nice views of it. Oh, I should probably control from here actually. There's some nice views of it. Here you can see the fin right there. You can see the fins, it's still attached. Did I pause it by accident? No, that's not good. Oh my god. You can see the fins right there. That's not, hopefully it doesn't pause again. Oh, that's not gonna keep us pausing. Here, switch to scene 3. So, you can have another look at the flight plan right here if you want. And if any questions. So, they won't catch the booster. They'll try to autonomously land on a drone ship, like Falcon Heavy or Falcon 9, but they won't catch the booster. Like unlike SpaceX claws that would clamp in, it'll like land on a pad in the ocean, basically. Hopefully it's fixed now. That's not good. That fixes it. Okay, that fixes it. That's okay. That's good. That's better. Have they landed the booster? Well, to be fair, I shouldn't have said what I said before. Technically, they have landed New Shepard all the time. New Shepard's meant to be reusable, but like, New Shepard and like New Glenn are basically like completely different rockets. The size comparison, it's like crazy. To give you an idea, New Shepard, the Blue Origin rocket, meant to send tourists to space for a couple minutes. The same to space. That rocket is roughly. Oh, we didn't inside look. Okay, so this is like what the inside. So you can see on the side. That is what the Pathfinder is. Yeah, right here. This is the Pathfinder right here. So I talked about earlier about the thrust difference, but for the size difference, New Glenn is again 320 feet, but New Shepard was only 63 feet or 19 meters. Compared to New Glenn's almost 100 meters in size, 98 meters to be exact. So yeah, we're expected to launch in 22 minutes. And right now you have a look at a control center where everything's taking place. So again, this is preview. Okay, this is a launch, an experimental launch of a new rocket never seen before. It'll be a main competitor to SpaceX. ULA. Well, I guess not ULA, because where is the control center? Which state? So most control centers are located in Florida. I think exception to this is ULA's control center. Yeah, I think I know ULA's is not anything, but yeah, most of them I'm pretty sure, including Blue Origin, is probably located in Cape Canaveral. But center ULA, but yeah, I'm pretty sure ULA control center. Not sure. Look. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's located somewhere else. I think yeah, ULA Launch Center is located in like Colorado, Denver, Colorado to be specific. So, this rocket, interestingly, is a methane fuel rocket, the BE-4 engines. Like, similar enough to like SpaceX's Starship, which also uses methane. Methane doesn't particularly excel in a particular thing. For example, like hydrogen gives the most efficient fuel, while kerosene requires the least amount of like temperature. For example, like hydrogen fuel needs to be kept at extremely low temperatures. Contrast to hydrogen fuel, kerosene fuels that need to be kept at low temperatures, but not as low. Um, Not as low. You guys can hear me, right? But can you guys hear me? Where's control center? Come on. Wait, can you guys hear me? Um, that might not be good. I don't know if you guys can hear me. You've been talking to nothing the entire time. I think no, you guys. How much fuel they carry? Okay, so there's two different stages of the rocket, right? Two different stages of the rocket, right? Stage one, carries here. I think it's in the infographic. Stage one, stage one. Actually, I don't know that actually. How much fuel does New Glenn carry? Yeah, so New Glenn carries around 99,000 pounds of methane. Oh no, sorry, that's for the GTO. But so the Webmaster rocket, otherwise the Webmaster rocket is like the weight of the rocket including fuel. As the fuel like 95% of the weight. This is a pretty useful metric. So the Webmaster rocket is around 99,000 pounds, which is a lot of fuel. Okay, as you can see. Okay, so but to like make 3.85 million pounds of thrust, you do need a lot of you do need a lot of fuel for that. We can hear. Okay, that's good. So that's all that matters, Shelly. Okay. Oh, wait. Okay, so this one's a new flight profile. I got so confused for a second. Okay, yes, you can see more useful information here. So the apogee is at around uh apogee is the maximum height of the orbit, and that's at roughly 19,300 kilometers. And the perigee, or the lowest points, are around 2,400 kilometers, which is a really wide orbit by the way. Because most orbits are like a couple hundred kilometers, so it's like a really big orbit. So I guess you want to test the full capabilities of this rocket, which this rocket has a lot to offer. I'm getting some more close-ups of the rocket. If you want, I can, maybe. Hopefully this is better. Yeah, so you can see right now, really clear picture of the fins right now. This is what to replace the grid fins. And a really beautiful wide shot of the rocket. Here, let's listen into them.
Blue Ring. And as mentioned before, it is something that I'm very excited about because it's related to the program that I help lead here at Blue Origin. There it is on the left side of your screen there, sitting nice and ready to go in the payload fairing. But to be clear, what you're looking at, this is not Blue Ring itself. This is not the Blue Ring spacecraft itself. It is a pathfinder for the Blue Ring vehicle. And so the vehicle, the Blue Ring vehicle that we are building currently employs a lot of the same technologies and capabilities that are put in that vehicle that you see on the left of your screen. And today we are going to validate the communication capabilities from orbit to the ground. Now, it's also worth noting that today's payload...
This is mainly a communication satellite, for anyone wondering.
...to the second stage throughout the mission as it powers on and it begins collecting data. For the broader system we're building, for the Blue Ring itself, you can think of Blue Ring as a utility vehicle, a multi-tool, or kind of a mobile service station that we can use to run errands around the solar system. Today, on this mission, it's a super cool pathfinder for that vehicle that will be flying. We have some exciting details to share a little later on. We're going to get way in depth on the exact technology that we're testing today, as well as Blue Ring. But I'll tell you right now, I'm super excited about not just the launch, but the payload, and for both, you know, the New Glenn team and the Blue Ring team. So much work has come together today.
Okay, I'm muted now. So, this rocket has been in development for years. I think Blue Origin first made a video about it. About the first fairing a really long time ago. To check the original exact date, it was a couple years ago. Can't exactly remember, sorry. Okay, not that late. Yeah, so they started working the BE-4 engines, which is for the Vulcan rocket, around 6 years ago, or at least when they first made the first mention of it. And they first made the fairing for a rocket, the first fairing, around another 4 years ago. And this fairing is massive, so it's all carbon fiber, so it's really cool. Yeah, we're looking at 13 minutes to launch, so, yep. So, if you're wondering what the smoke is coming around the... So, if you're wondering what the smoke coming around it, it's because of, it uses LOX, or liquid oxygen, which is, liquid oxygen with a sound, which is, extremely cold. So, just so the white smoke is just condensation coming off the rocket. Yep. tune into the stream.
Of course, one that lands, right? New Glenn, the same deal. But let's point out one big difference. New Shepard lands on a landing pad in the desert, while New Glenn's landing pad is out in the Atlantic Ocean. I should take a moment.
Okay, I probably should like add to what she's saying. It probably can do multiple things. It could probably land in the inland, but like to get maximum performance while reusing the booster, you should probably land it out to sea, so you don't need to do a fuel intensive boost back burn, which is where you orient the booster to go here. I can pull up the infographic of it. Oh, wrong one. So you see how the in the redirect mover, instead normally it would have to like fire and then like full throttle to like try to come back to launch complex 36, or I guess a nearby launch complex. But instead of that, it like just like lightly taps on the fuel to make it stop around a couple hundred kilometers out in the ocean. So then you can like use full throttle for a couple seconds and land, not for a couple seconds, like 30 seconds roughly. So you can land perfectly on the drone ship, at least hopefully. But this is New Glen's Blue Origin's first time ever doing something like this crazy. Well, I guess they have landed rockets before, but not from this altitude and not this speed and not this size. And there's a lot of things could go wrong. It took SpaceX years, so I doubted Blue Origin could do a first try, but I'm rooting for them. So yeah. Oh, so by the way, this naming scheme. So New Shepard was the first person in space. John Glenn was the first American astronaut to orbit around the Earth. Because New Shepard went to take people to space, kind of like New Shepard, Alan Shepard, like the astronaut. So same way as John Glenn was the first American to orbit the Earth. As New Glenn will be the first rocket for Blue Origin to orbit around the Earth. So it's a clever naming scheme. We're looking at around 10 minutes to launch. It's 9:50. 10 minutes to launch if everything goes right. Switch back to footage. They should really have a timer though. I don't know. Oh. There might have been a 40-minute delay. That's not good. Is there a reason for this much delay? That's not good. Yeah, it is. The launch pad in Florida. Almost like 95% of rocket launches from the U.S. are from Cape Canaveral, Florida. As to the edge, this is the nearest. Is on the edge of Florida. So if anything goes wrong, the boosters will fall in the ocean and not harm any civilians. And it's one of the closest points to the equator without one of the closest points to the equator without endangering any civilians if rockets fail. So this is why like it's in Florida. Specifically, I believe it is in Launch Complex 36. Yeah, yeah. So the landing gear for this will like pop. It has 6 landing legs and like pop out of the base. So they're tucked in behind the metal part.
Welcome back, everybody. We are officially at T-minus 38 minutes and 57 seconds to go until launch, our first launch of New Glenn. I should note that as we go along here, you might see our clock bounce around a little bit. That's just our teams getting aligned and making sure that by the time we get down to 0, everybody's set and ready to go.
Yeah, it does make the difference if it launches near the equator. Because if it launches near the equator,
preparedness.
Absolutely. So our team has already completed.
So the Earth spins faster near the equator, right? So the rockets will get the maximum amount of boost if they launch as close to the equator as possible. But the best place to do it is like someplace in Texas. But unfortunately, it is dangerous because well, what if the rockets like fail, but like over Florida, for example, that could injure many lives. So they in Florida, so just like at worst case scenario, it falls in the ocean and maybe harms a couple of marine lives, but but is better than like harming civilians. So that's why. Wait, unfortunately,
Mechanism
there
to
is a
make sure
37
that we
minute
are
delay.
burning all that flammable oxygen and
Let's see why
hydrogen,
there is still.
protecting New Glenn and our launch pad. So that is where we are right now. We'll keep tracking progress as we make our way to terminal count.
Thank you very much. We will look forward to the next update on the team and the rocket there. Now, we mentioned that we're sitting in the rocket factory here. Blue Origin's mission control is right upstairs, right above our head. And we're very close to where the rocket is itself. So maybe if you zoom out a little bit, Denise, you can give us a sense from a geography-wise where we're sitting.
We are super close. So behind me, I have a map of Florida. You can see
Yeah,
very
so
clearly
here's
here we
Florida,
have
guys,
Merritt
talking
Island
about.
and Cape Canaveral. If you go ahead and zoom in, I'll show
Oh,
you
sorry
where
for
we
the
are
echo.
right now. We are
I'll
right
try to
now
fix
at
it,
Blue
but I don't
Origin
know.
Rocket Park. This is where New Glenn is
Is this
built,
muted?
integrated, tested. This is where we're coming in
muted.
live from our studio. And just a short 8 miles away, we have LC-36, where
Yeah,
New
launch
Glenn
topic
is standing
36.
proudly, waiting for its first launch. You just heard from Eddie and a few of our employees. They're just here in Cars Park, and if you're lucky enough to be watching from either Jetty Park or anywhere up down Cocoa
So,
Beach, you are going to
meeting them. So, if you were one of the people, well, say I doubt it because there's only 5 people here. But if you were one of the people near that, you probably couldn't see the rocket or the flames that well because this is a methane-based rocket. So, you probably couldn't see the rocket that much well because it burns pretty lightly. Oh, so yeah, I forgot about this. So, Launch Complex 36 is where a bunch of like really famous rockets launch, like the Atlas rocket and the I think yeah, the Mercury rockets, Saturn and Mercury rockets. And I think we're also SpaceX has a couple launches too. It's extremely historical launch pad, which is perfect for such a historical mission that Blue Origin is hoping to do this day. You can see here the massive like thing. Like these, I think. Keep in mind, it's hard to find that many reference points, but this rocket is 320 feet tall. Yeah, there is an echo. So right now we're looking at around a T minus 35 minutes. So roughly, we're gonna launch at 10:30 roughly, which is kind of unfortunate. It was gonna launch in 4 minutes from now, but sometimes it happens, I guess. They had some problems syncing up with them, so they just, like gave them extra time to launch, syncing up everything together. So they gave them 30 extra minutes to launch, and yeah. So 6 likes, that's nice. Ooh, my stream's lagging a bunch. So these engines that Rocket's using are pretty um but these are really good engines they're using, the BE4s. They're also on the Vulcan rocket owned by which ULA makes, which is it's in the process of an acquisition by Blue Origin. So that'll be interesting. So yeah, so launch eligibility. Kind of what we talked about earlier. Could hear into them.
It's going all the way as far north as, North Carolina, several states.
But because it's a methane rocket, it's gonna be a bit harder to see. But you could start seeing it like if you're in like, uh, that's in oh yeah in North Carolina. I guess you could start seeing it if you're in North Carolina. You could see it within like around 240 seconds. There's an yeah, he's right there. There's an echo. So yeah, we're at T minus 33 minutes. Here, while this, could we switch to this? Any questions about it? While we wait for it? Ooh, 32 views. That's good. Average edition 4 minutes. So, yeah, this rocket has around 9 BE4 engines, 2 BE3U engines, which are engines for the first stage. For the second stage, my bad. And the reason why there's two different type of engine. So, there's a difference when you do stuff in lower orbit and in higher atmosphere, and when there's more air and less air. So when you go up in space, when you go up above ground, you want a small nozzle. A nozzle is a nozzle is in the back of the rocket engines. They have like cone shaped thing. That's a nozzle. And when you're lower ground, you want a smaller one because the atmosphere is strong enough. But when you go into space and lower air density and space and beyond, there is more there's lack of air. So you want as wide as a bell chamber as possible for that. And theoretically, the maximum efficiency is around a maximum efficiency would be a bell chamber and infinity size. However, for many reasons, that's completely unrealistic. So instead, they get for two pretty large engines, two BE4 engines with longer bell chambers and some other modifications. And because they have longer bell chambers, means it is more efficient too. So the ISP is also longer. Just good. So, the New Shepard one for the Space Tourism used the BE3PM engines. It was a liquid hydrogen rocket. So the second stage engine I'm talking about, the BE3U, is prior to New Glenn upper stage. It has a massive bell chamber. And it's designed for reliability. As this rockets, because this has to work. Because yeah. SpaceX is also working on not SpaceX, sorry. Blue Origin is working on a BE7 engine. So far, it isn't in production in like any rockets, but it's a high thrust engine, around 10,000 pound of thrust for in space, which is really good. Yeah, so the BE4 makes around each BE4 engine, and then none of them, by the way, make 555,000 pounds of thrust, or 2.5 kilonewtons of thrust. And it is, and it's the fuel cycle state is oxygen rich. Yeah. Let's tune back into the first screen. Yeah, so we're at T minus 30-ish minutes. Really, we are doing noise. That's lock echo. Is Blue Origin a public company or a private company? So, Blue Origin is completely owned by Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, who stepped down from Amazon from CEO, as CEO to a lower position to spend more time on passion projects such as Blue Origin, which is really nice. So we're gonna see some more stuff like this. And right now, they're showing the comparison to Saturn V, the rocket that sent man to the moon. What's just echo? Anyway, yeah. So this rocket is massive. You can tell. If it's as tall as a rocket sent people to the moon, you know it's big, and this is really powerful too. However, the Saturn V engines still produce quite a bit more thrust. You can see my mouse now. Finally, yeah. you can see that it produced a fair amount more interest in it. So Saturn output vs. Yeah, so again, even though they look around similar size, the thrust output is vastly different. Although it is important to know that the Saturn V uses kerosene, which is basically a refined version of jet fuel, which is a refined version of jet fuel, and which makes it burn faster. But the Saturn V contained a 7.6 million pound thrust compared to the 3.8 million of New Glenn. Yeah. Okay, we have a 3 sec. Okay, Search Stream has a 5 second delay, which is I'll get something 5 seconds after. Once I say it, I have a 5 second delay. So once the rocket launches, you guys see like after 5 seconds, which is not the best, but oh, it's only 4 seconds now, but not the best. But I guess we can't do much about it. So on the comparison to Saturn V, was a bit unjust as they did earlier, because it almost like adds twice as weak. Why there's so much echo? What do I do to fix it? Yeah. If only my microphone. Any questions, perchance? Another one. Another one. So New Zealand has done a couple of before this has a couple of hot fires, and hot fires are when the rocket is like tied down. Well, basically tied down to the launch pad, and it turned on the engines. And it has a couple of those so far. Leading to this, it has a pressure test, it has a fuel up test. Well, that's not proper terminology. I should really be calling it a wet dress rehearsal. A wet dress means like it has fuel in it. So it's like wet mass means like the mass of the rocket including fuel. Yep. So it's done that. It's done a couple of pressure tests. It has been digitally looked over by the Blue Origin team. Oh, 79 frames. Yeah, that's a good amount of delay. Okay, let's zoom back into the. Oh yeah, this is a much better view of the control center. You can see all of the people working, and some really cool LED lights. We're at T minus 24 minutes and 32 seconds. Ooh, that's a 7 second delay. Okay, back to 5 seconds now. Yeah, so what is the mission of the launch? So this is a test mission. It's meant to a proof of concept, as this is the New Glen's first ever launch of an extremely experimental first stage recovering. And it's carrying the Blue Ring Pathfinder, a core part of the Blue Ring project, and the Blue Ring project is it basically project to support a variety of medium Earth orbit orbit satellites with um that can easily remove her. So basically, it'll host. Blue Ring provides end-to-end service that spans hosting, transporting, refueling, data relay, and logistics, including in-space edge computing. Blue Ring. Okay, so Blue Ring can host payloads of more than 3,000 kilograms for commercial and governmental use. So basically, it's a proof of concept for both missions. So this is an add-on you could buy if, for example, I wanted to launch a mission to space. You could put it on Blue Ring, and Blue Ring could we could Blue Ring in a New Glenn mission. New Glenn's put the Blue Ring in space, and Blue Ring puts your payload exactly where it needs to be, and then it burns up in the atmosphere. But that's not as important. Is Blue Origin making profit? Well, this is a test mission, but I do not doubt the ability of New Glenn to make profit. I have full confidence in that because it is the only other first stage reusable rocket meant for commercial use, other than SpaceX, which would be a massive disruptor and way more competitively viable than other rockets such as Vulcan or Delta, or the Delta series. So currently this mission is just a test mission, but I'm full certain that this mission will be profitable. And let's see what you guys say. You guys, 67% of you said it'll leave the launch pad, and 33% you said it'll make it to stage separation. So not a lot of confidence in the chat, but there. Yeah, not a lot of confidence in the mission. Personally, I think it'll reach to orbit and attempt a landing, but not really be there. So I put my money on orbit, but I guess you guys feel like it won't get past stage separation. So, which is valid because it is a brand new rocket. So a brand new rocket, like Blue Origin has never done anything as big because the rocket, like other rockets compared to this, are tiny, low thrust, way simpler, and only meant to send people into suborbital, meaning they like just barely reach space and then fall back down. They haven't had a rocket going this fast before or anything like this. So yeah, I could see that. 7 likes for 9 years. So we're looking at T minus 14 seconds, and yep. Yeah. Okay, around exchange for Team Slave around T minus 19 and 40 seconds, 45 seconds, I should say. So I guess. So okay, more specifically, they oh yeah, before someone asked before, the drone ship it's landing on is called Jacqueline. This will be New Glenn's first ever recovery attempt. It's gonna launch east. This will be the first. This will be the first mission. It is to be 8 orbital mission of 2025. So 8 orbital missions in the first 12 days is like, well, a lot more than we have seen previously. This will be Blue Origin's 29th mission, or the first mission of the month for Blue Origin, or first mission of 2025, I should say. Which I guess it basically means the same thing, but yeah. Yeah, so how much is stream delay? Okay, only 4 seconds. It's not bad. If you guys have any questions, you can tune in to stream.
This is going to engulf the flame trench completely, which is going to protect our rocket from vibroacoustic and thermal loading. Finally, autopilot will be enabled, we'll flex the gimbaling engines, and then, well, ignition.
Game on, ignition. I cannot wait for that moment. So all of this is very exciting, even to just hear said out loud. I think there's also a very specific sequence for starting the first stage engines. And talk us through that, because it's not like they just all turn on at once. We got to be careful about how we sequence the engines igniting.
Correct. So you might think that we ignite all 7 BE4s at once, but that's actually not the case. We do something called a staggered start sequence. Engines 1, 4, and 7 will light first, followed by engines 2, 3, 5, and 6. Now, of course, these will happen in a very quick succession, but the staggering start really helps to decrease the sudden pressure on the whole system. There just truly is so much power in those BE4 engines. So staggering them creates a more smooth on-ramp for all that power.
Absolutely, and we talk a lot about the rocket, but you can't forget the ground systems as well, right? So when we are essentially protecting the rocket from the vibration and all that power coming out of the engine, we're also protecting the launch pad itself,
So,
right? You see,
I don't know if you're wondering this, but if you're wondering about the flaming I saw previously, it is called the hot exhaust gas, hot exhaust gas, and it's to safely deflecting the hot gas from a rocket booster away from the launch pad. So they're basically burning excess fuel it doesn't need, like far away from the from the rocket. Not again. Not wait. What?
we are T-minus 37 minutes and 20 seconds to go until launch. As we mentioned, this is kind of what we can expect from our team as they get aligned and ready to go into launch today. So they just need a couple more minutes, and that's A-okay. You know, we say this on the New Shepard webcast as well, which is we have spent years designing this rocket and, you know, months building it and months going into designing this operation. If we need a couple more minutes before we, you know, we press go on this thing, that is A-okay with all of us. So with that, why don't we take a moment here to check out this beautiful New Glenn rocket on the pad, getting ready for its first mission to space ever.
Okay, be back in a second. Yeah, just some more close-up of the rocket. Hopefully this works. So, I'm going to try to get my microphone set back up, and yeah, be back soon. Oh, the reason it got delayed is I don't really know, to be honest. They said they had some issues, but it probably is they want to double check everything, because this is like a huge moment for Blue Origin, the company. That's my best bet, but that's understandable. They want to mess up such a crucially important launch for them, so that's what they're doing, like those. That's a bit scary, but it happens, I guess. Yeah. More close-ups. I mean, I'll still be here answering any questions if you guys have, but yeah, unfortunate, kind of.
Welcome back, everybody. We're at T-minus 33 minutes and 53 seconds to go until New Glenn's first launch. We are so happy to have you all joining us for this historic launch, both here in the U.S. and everywhere around the world. Denise, tell our audience, where are we up to in the preparation of our vehicle?
So right now we're completing a systems functional check for New Glenn, and this is critical because we're ensuring that all of our systems are operating nominally. We're going to verify propulsion, avionics, guidance, communications, and even safety systems. Our engineers are also running diagnostics on all the BE-4s and BE-3Us. We're checking flight computers, we're checking telemetry. We're also going to do one final comm check. This is really crucial because we want to make sure that we're getting the right data between the rocket and the ground, as well as verifying the signal integrity. Now, coming up, we're going to do one last weather check. This is where we get real-time data on wind speed, direction, temperature, humidity, cloud cover, lightning, even thunderstorms, not just for the LC-36 pad, but we're also checking the weather where the Jacqueline is, so that she's ready to receive our booster. So that is where we are right now. Things are going to move quickly here.
Thanks, Denise. And yeah, we should reiterate again, the weather, we got to take into consideration the weather here, but also downrange, where the landing ship is, the Jacqueline. We've mentioned it earlier, of course, that was one of the reasons why we need to take a little bit more time before getting to launch this evening. The sea state out there is a little rough.
A little unfortunate that it got delayed,
and we
but
want to give our rocket
things
the
happen.
best chance of coming into land and sticking that landing on the Jacqueline. There is the Jacqueline ready to receive the first stage of New Glenn.
Is this better for you guys?
Take it back home, refurbish it, put another payload on top, and go again. But again, we should reiterate some of our
this is drone ship. Yeah, this is actually really cool.
The primary objective is to go to space, go to orbit safely. That's number one. And if we happen to land this booster, as I mentioned before, there are going to be a lot of people losing their minds, mine as well. So stay tuned for that. Now, Denise, why don't you go through a little bit more of the flow down there? So the Blue Ring team is up in mission control right now, also surely tracking their own checklist as they make sure the Pathfinder payload is ready to go to launch as well.
Correct, yeah. So upstairs at the MC, we'll have a launch control and mission control. So our launch team is the one that's doing all these system checks on New Glenn, while mission control is making sure that they're doing similar system checks for the Blue Ring Pathfinder.
Wonderful. Let's take a second and dig in a little bit more on that payload. The Pathfinder is a cool piece of technology, and really, it's just the initial demo for a vehicle program called Blue Ring that's quite far along in its own development. And we mentioned this earlier, today's demo is a non-separating payload. This means the payload tonight is going to stay attached to New Glenn's second stage for the entire 6-hour mission. The other thing I want to reiterate about
this is a 6-hour mission, but I'm only going to be here for
it's going to be testing a lot of the same.
I'm only going to be here for wrong one. I'm only going to be here for realistically like payload separation at best, but I'll be here for sure for the landing temp, and maybe a bit after that, probably clean fare separation, and if payload separation happens to happen a bit earlier, then I'll be here for payload separation. But around 20 minutes of the launch, which is the most fun and entertaining part of it. But let's go back here.
Excited to talk about this. I love this program. It's one that I've had a hand in getting off the ground for the past year as part of Blue's in-space systems team. But I want to take you deeper into Blue Ring. Let's check out this video.
Blue Ring allows you to do many different things with one vehicle.
So, quickly talking about it. So, Blue Ring, Blue Ring, the massive program they have, system they have, and they're currently testing out the Blue Ring Pathfinder, which is a small part of it, and they're going to launch it important context for this?
We can take up to 13 customers up to space, up to 3 metric tons, deploy those satellites.
It's going to give them all the capability that they need to be able to be placed where they want, or they can use a lot of the capability inside of Blue Ring.
It can do data storage, data computing, relaying the data.
And it's going to be a massive asset because it now allows all these payload customers to offload all of their data relay and critical processing needs.
You've got space domain awareness, you've got communications capabilities, and then you've also got this ability to host things on Blue Ring itself.
For customers who need orbit maneuver, we can maneuver them between orbits, within an orbit.
We can have nominally 3,000 meters per second of delta V with this vehicle, and in some configurations all the way up to 4,000 meters per second.
Delta V is like how fast you can travel with the amount of fuel it has.
For really fast maneuvers, but then have electric propulsion for all of the station keeping and low energy maneuvers. A lot of our work is going to be done in geostationary orbit for sure. But we've got capabilities to go out to cislunar orbits and
The proper definition for Delta V is like the change in velocity. So
first new Glenn flight, which is
the amount of speed a rocket can gain or lose by firing its engines. So
it proves out that we can command our vehicle on orbit, can receive data from the vehicle.
We'll be testing out and demonstrating a lot of the capabilities that will be hosted on the Blue Ring vehicle as a whole.
We're building not just the transportation systems through New Glenn, but also the infrastructure that will help future generations take advantage of what space has to offer.
Blue Ring is going to multiply what we can do in space and create the infrastructure like nothing else.
I don't know about you, but I am pretty excited, if you can't tell, to be able to say that the team I work with in my day job, Blue Ring, is the team behind the first payload ever on New Glenn.
It is so, so cool. Thinking about the way a vehicle like Blue Ring will open up access to space. I mean, that's really what it's all about. That key aspect of today's mission is that demo of space-to-ground communication capabilities for Blue Ring.
You got it. The Blue Ring Pathfinder will be testing its ability to send commands to the spacecraft, receive telemetry, and edge processing software that will demonstrate local autonomy and machine learning that will be part of the storage and compute mission kit that's going to be flying on all of the future Blue Ring vehicles. So basically, it has a computer predicting if the spacecraft is getting sick. We're also testing radiometric tracking, which, by the way, helps in navigation by using radio waves to track the spacecraft's position and velocity. So basically, radiometric tracking uses radio frequencies to track where the vehicle is and where it's going.
So Blue Ring is going to be very busy during this mission. It'll be sending and receiving data. It'll be tracking its own location and processing mission data real time. And all of this will be communicated over RF to Atlas antennas stationed in Hawaii, the state of Georgia, and even Australia.
Yeah, these ground stations will collect telemetry and radiometric data, which is crucial for understanding how the spacecraft is performing and navigating in highly elliptical orbits in the MEO range. Now, this is unique because it allows the spacecraft to spend a significant amount of time over specific areas of Earth, making it an of the Blue Ring space vehicle, which undoubtedly will play a vital role in further space exploration and communication technologies.
That data and
So, after payload separation, what happens? So, So after payload separation, payload gets released in space. So the payload gets released in space, and they're going to test more of Blue Ring's capabilities. Blue Ring Pathfinder capabilities, to be more specific. But past that point, as it is a 6-hour mission, so that is like really long. So I won't be hosting that part, but up to payload separation, I'll be hosting, and maybe a bit after that. That for sure, but yeah, that's really it. That really it. So, any other questions you guys have? Tuning back into normal stream in 3, 2, 1.
Learn, refine, and apply that knowledge to our next launch. We're really looking forward to seeing how the vehicle performs. As I said earlier, more data, the better, right? We pushed every single part, component, system in our testing well beyond its limits by design. But we also recognize
Any question
that
anyone have?
no amount of ground
feel free
testing
to
or
ask.
mission simulations can replace the real-world conditions of flying this system into space, which is why we can't wait for the mission to get underway, see how things perform, and apply all the lessons learned to our next
I hope
launch
to
and
last
beyond.
delay because
An absolutely thrilling day.
Oh yeah, guys,
Again, we're
answer the
so
poll by
glad
the way.
you're here to share.
Yeah, answer the poll by the way. What do you think will happen this mission? Give me in the comments and click what you want to do for the poll. Currently, 1% thinks that it will make it to stage separation, and 2 people think that it will like leave the launch pad but not reach stage separation. I believe it will make it to orbit. But it'll attempt a landing, but it probably won't get close to landing due to technical failures, because this is Blue Origin's first time doing something this crazy. Yeah. So yeah, I think it'll be successful. So Blue Origin's so Blue Origin says it's a self-film mission, at least for this. So if it makes it to orbit, they will call it successful after that, because like that's all they're really hoping for this. And then it'll be nice if it lands, but they know that it's extremely unrealistic for it to do that first try. So yeah, according to Blue Origin's success, it will make it to orbit, which I believe it could do. But I do believe that landing, like Blue Origin said, will be extremely difficult. So that is my stance on it. Sorry. Yeah, around under 21 minutes until lunch. I really hope there's no more delays after this. We're suspecting a launch in 10 PST time, 10:52. EST will like be EST will be 1:42 and Mountain Time will be 12:42. Are you guys wondering?
Laura, thank you for taking the time, especially on such an important day, to give us a tour of the factory. This is kind of like your second home, I imagine, for the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely, Ariane. We're so excited about this factory and super excited to show you all a little bit about it.
Well, so talk to me a little bit about what we got going on here. We've got multiple rockets coming down the line.
Yeah, all kinds of things going on. So the basic layout is that the raw material comes in from the south side of the building down here at the end of the aisle. We weld the tanks together down there. Then we bring the completed modules here for assembly. Over here we have our GS1 aft module, which will have landing legs, 7 BE4 engines installed. We do all of that work. We continue to assemble the stages down here.
Is Jeff also present there? I believe so.
7-meter fairing, which our customers love.
Yeah, probably.
And eventually we roll out The Gwen
I mean, it
Stage
didn't
1,
specifically
Gwen
say
Stage
that,
2,
but
and the
it'd be
fairings out of the north end of the building. Those are all transported 8 miles over to
Most
Cape
likely.
Canaveral Space Force Station and are assembled in our integration facility over there prior to launch.
Yeah.
And that's also, of course, where we integrate the payload as well. Just talking about customers a little bit, what have the various customers been saying
No,
about what they're
yes,
excited
huh?
about?
We're working with our national security customer right now on
There's
certifying
been
the
another
because
time
they
I
really
did
need an additional launch system. And we're also working with our NASA customers. They've got a lot of interest in the size of our payload fairing, both for rideshare kinds of things.
So there's been another 12-minute additional yeah. Hopefully this is the last one. I hope. Whew. Yeah. So, any of you have any other questions? Ooh, thank you for your 600 current viewers. Oh, the original time of launch was 10 o'clock PST time or 1 a.m. EST time, but now we're expected to launch at almost a full hour, a bit past the full hour ahead, at 11:06 PST or 2:06 or 2:06 EST. Yeah. Go back to this. Oh, I forgot me. Oh. Yeah, back now. So, any other questions? Okay, the interview's done now, which is good. Chat break. Oh, thank you for the 6 current viewers.
Okay, we are at T-minus 31 minutes and 6 seconds to go until NG1. We continue to tick down towards our first launch. I will mention again, you may have seen we went down and then we added some more time to the clock. That is just fine. That is our team taking a couple more minutes to make sure that all of their procedures are aligned as we tick down towards T-minus 0. So you might see a little bit more of that happening here. While we've got a little bit more time, why don't we talk about the flight profile for this evening's launch? What is that going to look like as we see this vehicle fly?
I don't really have other things to talk
we've
about.
imagined this flight for so long. We've looked
When
forward
it's
to
on
this
the
day. I'm
launch
so
pad,
excited just to see
does it
another
use any
vehicle
fuel?
of this
Not
size
really,
flying
because
over to Florida. We're going to be feeling the
no, because the
power
fuels
of
aren't
the
on.
V4 engines here in the studio.
The fuel does
very
get a bit
shortly.
hotter, which isn't good because the
After
fuel needs to
liftoff,
be at
there
like
are a number
as
of
cold as
important
possible,
milestones
at least for
in
liquid
flight that
oxygen
we'll
and
be
for the
tracking.
fuel.
So
I'm not as cold as possible, but pretty cold. So it is warmer than fuel, so they do need to sort of like recycled, which is kind of unfortunate. But this is not a big enough delay where that will make it a big problem.
BE-4 engines will ignite and propel the rocket upward with over 3.8 million pounds of thrust.
This is what it would look like, kind of, if we did launch.
17,000 kilonewtons. The vehicle will quickly reach supersonic speeds as it climbs through the atmosphere. As the rocket ascends, it will encounter maximum aerodynamic pressure, known as max Q, at around 40,000 feet, or 12 kilometers. This is the point at which the stress on the vehicle is at its highest. Around 3 minutes into the flight, the vehicle will turn off its engines, marking the end of the boost phase. Shortly after, the reusable first stage will separate and begin its journey back to Earth. 2 BE-3U engines on the second stage will ignite and propel it onward into orbit with the payload. The reusable booster reorients in the vacuum of space using its reaction control system. At 220,000 feet, or 67 kilometers, it executes an exo-atmospheric deceleration burn using its Center 3 engines. These engines gimbal for maximum control of the booster. This burn slows the vehicle down before re-entering the atmosphere. As it descends, the booster's strakes and fins work together to slow it down and guide it autonomously back to Earth, landing on a vessel at sea. At around 9,000 feet, or just under 3,000 meters, the first stage begins its final landing burn.
So this part probably won't happen, but hope so. Hopefully.
Slowing the vehicle in preparation for the final descent. The 2 outer engines will turn off, and the center engine will execute the final.
So yeah, these ones are a bit different from SpaceX landing gear, but in my opinion, it looks way cooler. But that's, I guess, up to personal
The
preference.
vessel will return to Cape Canaveral to prepare for its next mission. Meanwhile, in space, the second stage will continue to power the payload.
So yeah, people who ask us say this is more detail about it.
At around 400,000 feet, or 120 kilometers, the payload fairings will jettison. New Glenn will deliver an unprecedented range of payloads. Large satellites, dual payloads, orbital vehicles, large constellation dispensers, even moon landers destined to establish permanent human presence on the moon. This is New Glenn. This is how we will build a road to space.
T-minus 27 minutes and how deep?
So again, you got an opportunity to see what the mission profile will be for this rocket this evening, but I think what was really cool about that video as well is it gives you a sense of the future as well in terms of the various vehicles that we're going to be able to take.
So yeah, so for any new people who joined chat, hi, and so this is an experimental launch of the New Glenn rocket. A rocket aimed to be a reusable rocket and to be a main competitor to SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. It's a master rocket and a heavyweight edition for rockets. It's it's hopefully going to it's hopefully today we're aiming for it to send the Blue Ring Pathfinder into orbit around the Earth, and for it to reach a successful orbit, and as a cherry on top for the booster to land. Although this is like pretty unlikely considering it is a first attempt of it. Go back to official stream. 3, 2, 1. Yeah. T-minus 25 minutes. Hopefully it's the last delay. How long does satellite last? How many years? That's a tough question. Probably a couple years, like 3, 5, maybe 7-ish. But this is really more. But again, this rocket is also like really experimental. So there's like a chance, an unfortunate chance, but there is a chance that it doesn't even make it to space. You know, it blow up in the atmosphere. It doesn't reach orbit. We're hoping for the best, but prepared for the worst. Any other questions you guys have? Anyone? There's 6 people watching. Any of you guys could vote in the following poll. Poll will end 30 seconds before launch. So you have 23 minutes to cast your vote on the poll. Can they bring the satellite back to Earth? I guess theoretically they could, but like they would need to send a rescue mission, and there is no way it's like ever gonna be make enough financial and economical sense to send it back. Because the satellite stuff is probably like it's expensive, but it's not like that expensive, you know. So like it probably is better to send another rocket with a new satellite instead. And if the rocket blows up, then you really can't do much there. The satellite blows up too, I guess. Yeah. Ooh, lost a couple viewers, but that's okay. Thank you for people who are still sticking around, and T-minus 23 minutes. For anyone who's just joining in now, this is an experimental mission of the New Glenn rocket. A rocket made by Blue Origin, a space company owned by Jeff Bezos, and this is a first stage reusable rocket that competes with a Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy made by SpaceX. And we're hoping to see it launch in around 22 minutes. So 22 minutes. This will carry the Blue Ring Pathfinder, a part of the Blue Ring system for space mobility, to be able to send like payload to the exact place to send satellites and payload to the exact spot they need to be. And yeah, so thank you for joining us, random viewer. So if they want to clean the space junk, they have to send something in space to clean it. Oh, so it's a question. Someone asked me a question about space junk. Space junk is basically like debris left over by random rockets, satellites, and decommissioned satellites. Yes and no. So, eventually, all the stuff will fall back to in the ocean and burn up in the atmosphere. But that will take a really long time, and yeah, it'll take a really long time, really. I guess it could also send a rocket, but currently, right now, there is no motive for anyone to clean it up, and it is a problem, but it's not like that big of a problem right now that people need to worry. And we have recently a collision between two decommissioned satellites did happen, which made many debris. But yeah, it's not too big of a problem. An interesting story about this is one time, you know about the do you guys know about the space shuttle, the orange and white rocket? So that rocket, it has windows, right? It carries people in it. So a fleck of paint, like if we scrape some paint, a fleck of paint, it like hit the window at like 70,000 miles per hour because like space junk traveled that fast, and it managed to like crack the window, almost fully cracked the window. A paint fleck almost cracked the window. And these are really big windows too. These are like really big, thick windows. So SpaceX can be really dangerous. Why delay? So SpaceX, Blue Origin crew can like double check everything and make sure everything works properly. Yeah, that's why. Unfortunate, but it happens. So, yeah. Ernest Nissan. Yeah, that's okay. Okay. We're under 20 minutes. Let's listen in. Okay, guess the commentators aren't commentating. Any other questions you guys have? And you guys can like you still have like 19 minutes to answer the poll, so Oh wow, this is okay. So this is like an infrared shot of the engines, and so far I can see the engines are really cold, but eventually they'll be like burning red hot, 3,000 degrees Celsius. But right now they're cold black. The black means like really cold. So because the rocket uses regenerative cooling, meaning it uses liquid oxygen to cool down the engine so it doesn't burn. Under 19 minutes, under 18 minutes and 35 seconds. So everything looks pretty good. Pretty confident it'll launch this time. Sorry. If there's any problems with it, they would have told us earlier. I mean, there still could be some problems popping out, so like, you don't get your hopes up too much, but there's a good chance that this will launch right now. What material did they use? So they use a mixture of aluminum. Wow. So for the fins, they probably use titanium. They use a lot of carbon fiber, and they probably use aluminum in some spots. And yeah, that's what material they uses, I guess. They probably have like a bit of copper in there too, and bit of copper, titanium, and aluminum, but that's it. Okay, so I guess that answers that. So I guess this is the same thing. Okay, good. So this is what the mission flight plan looks like. If any of you guys want to see it again. Pep. Now we'll send our viewer now. So,
Welcome back, everybody. We're at
let's go.
16 minutes and 45 seconds to go until launch here. An exciting evening for all of us here at Blue Origin. I'm so glad that you've joined us. Now, we have spoken about the wealth of experience in the New Glenn launch and mission control rooms upstairs, and I want to take it back to Maggie upstairs, who is standing by up there. Maggie, you with us?
Yep, Ari, I am back at Mission Control, and as we make our way towards Terminal Count, the energy is high. It might seem like it's a little quiet with everyone sitting down, but the communications are
another really nice view into the control center behind the reporter.
I love it. They're in the zone. So, Maggie, I'd love for you to talk us through some of the people behind the mission up there.
So, the rocket is painted white, but
we've got some of our best and brightest here.
Yeah, so yeah, the rocket is painted white, but it looks mostly white. There's a portrait of blue, and the feather is a gray color. But there is ice forming on the sides because of the extremely cold temperatures. So to answer your question, I guess it is both of the options. It is a white rocket, but there is ice on the sides. So, but the ice isn't just for cooling; it's just a byproduct of having super cold, near super cold liquid oxygen and liquid methane. So not really so cooling, but there is ice there for sure. And there's also a bunch of condensation too. So this guy working right now is the launch director, and so you say this is gonna tell us launch or no launch, and we're under 15 minutes, so I'm pretty confident that's about to launch. We're about to launch in exactly the 2-hour mark for the stream. So we're looking at if you people who live in California, PST time, we're looking for at a launch at 11:07 p.m. And people who are living in EST time, we're looking for a launch at 2:07 a.m. for you guys. So I doubted any of you guys are here this late, but if you are, thank you for joining us. Launch day ritual, celebrate ice cream post party. So I guess this is the assistant launch director. She helps the launch director in a task and asks people how to know the go and no go poll. The no and the no go poll and the go. That is to check every part, like for example, like ground controller, fuel control, engine controller. That's to go 50 seconds, around a minute to 50 seconds before launch, asking everyone if everything's okay, and if everything's okay, the launch director will continue. We can tune into stream. 3, 2, 1.
Next we have Stephen Shelley. Now again, you talked about the Jacqueline a little bit earlier. That's our offshore vessel, and Stephen Shelley is our offshore recovery lead. So as we go through this whole process, the team and the launch director, Ben, are constantly checking in with Stephen to make sure that we know that the barge is ready should we be able to land New Glenn. His launch day ritual is actually the same as Ben. Another 3-alarm guy.
So this person will be like managing the drone ship in case they do, if they get close to landing.
Now Megan is one of our 2 primary launch controllers, which means that she has control authority over a lot of these major systems on New Glenn. Megan is from Utah, and in a very sweet story, Megan is actually wearing a bracelet today that her grandfather gave her grandmother with charms for every Apollo mission that he worked. So a really incredible legacy of spaceflight in that family, and they're bringing it to the Blue family. So we're really proud of them today. Megan Lewis and team.
How much money does the launch director make? I genuinely have no clue.
I love it. Just some wonderful stories, and each one of them has their ritual. I'm glad that it seems like their alarm system has worked, and yes, they are all ready to rock and roll today. That's a good thing.
Oh wow! Actually, they didn't make as much as I thought it did.
We will keep checking.
Around $300,000, which is a lot, but like
11 minutes
for such a high roll, I thought it'd be like higher.
Why don't we take a moment here?
You know, actually, no, 303. Yeah.
As it gets ready for its first launch to space today.
Yeah, around 303. Yeah, honestly, it wasn't as much as you think it is. Nope. Yeah. Surprising. The rocket could go past Earth orbit, but for this it won't go past Earth's orbit. Uh-oh. Stream laggy. Okay. It could go past. Uh-oh, you guys are 20 seconds, that's 40 seconds behind. That is not good. Uh-oh, that was really low. 10 minutes to launch. 1,300 frames are lost. 1,500. No, 1,600. No. 800. No. 700. No. Stream settings. No. I have time for this. We do not have. Oh no, not this close to launch. 2,200 frames are lost. No. What are we? Oh, only 94 kilobits. What do I do? 2,100. Okay, that's better. Internet speed test. Okay, download speed is solid. Okay, download speed is really good. Upload speed is really bad, actually. That's why it's called so laggy. So, my internet's not doing that well. It's at 1 megabit per second, which makes sense why you guys are like lagging a lot. Not another delay, no. I got delayed again. Okay, how did I even launch too? $1,400? Okay, that's not bad. Ooh. Yeah, it's really bad. I guess you only get 0 kilobits. That's really bad. I wait and hope it gets better, but
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're at T-minus 27 minutes and 5 seconds to go until launch. You may have noticed that we've added some more time to the clock. As we mentioned before, this is just our teams getting aligned, making sure that each of the separate sub-teams have all gone through all of their checklists, make sure that everything is in the green, making sure that the weather here at the Cape and downrange, everything is within bounds. So again, if we need to add a couple more minutes, that is quite all right with us. But while we've got a little bit more time, I would like to check in with my colleague, Eddie Seifert, out there at Cars Park, where he's joined by Team Blue Origin, here, our team that's based here in Florida. What you got going on down there, Eddie?
Yeah, hey, Ariane, welcome back to the best seat in the house here at Cars Park. I'm with the Smith family. We're working at Blue Origin, and working on rockets is a family affair. I'm with father,
yeah, launch was about close, so like they didn't launch when like
son Corbin Smith and granddaughter Elizabeth. Elizabeth, tell me, you've sent a postcard to space, is that right?
Yes.
And tell me, what was on your postcard?
There was rockets and planets.
Rockets and planets on the postcard. Now, Corbin, how did you get your start at Blue Origin?
So I first started up in Huntsville using team on the engine crew, building BE4 and BE3U. Now I'm here down at Rocket Park building the thrust structures for GS2.
Excellent. Must be special to be working on that GS2 rocket out there. And Mike, how about you? How did you get your start at Blue?
Well, it was my son that actually encouraged me to apply, and we got hired around the same time. And it's been awesome being able to work with him on different projects. We get to talk about work at home and do different things. We bleed blue at home.
Excellent, excellent. And Elizabeth, tell me, what are you most looking forward to today's launch?
For the rocket to go up in space.
Well, I think we're going to end on that note, Ariane. We're looking forward for that rocket to go to space. Let's send New Glenn to space. Let's light this candle.
I love it. It is a family affair, and I love seeing the different generations there, father, son, pair working at Blue. I look forward to seeing that little firecracker, that little girl joining us in a couple of years here in the future.
Still not doing the best. Eldorman speed test again.
To build these rockets, and that's what we're here to do at Blue. We're here to
it's not really running the best.
That are laying the foundation for the building the road to space, right? And so that
hopefully this will be better now.
Like her can pick up the torch and build on top of that. We're setting it's all for the benefit of Earth.
Should we call them and
thanks, Eddie, for checking in with us. We are T-minus.
Should we call them and tell them to switch? I hope so. Okay, the upload speed is a bit better now, so hopefully. No, don't go more down. Okay, the upload speed is having our 4 megabits, which is like really far from ideal, but Not up into 3.2. Not the best, but honestly, there's nothing much you could do here. Turn off a webcam, I don't think did that much. Stream settings. I don't know why though. Worst time for Nana to go back, but I guess it happens. Is it anyone watching, make sure to fast forward your videos, cause the lag, it probably got set behind a lot. So just make sure to fast forward the videos. But right now we're looking at a 13-second delay. That is really bad. Yeah. Oh, congratulations. Okay, hello everyone. For people just joining us, this is a new, a launch of New Glenn and an experimental rocket made by Blue Origin. Sorry for the lag, my internet's not doing the best right now, but, not doing the best right now, but I guess we gotta, persevere. So this rocket will be a making better to SpaceX's Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy. For the any people just joining us right now. No, we lost our viewers. That's really bad. No, come back, please. No, the 4 people who just watched this. Oh, this I'll get promise. That's a big dip in viewers. Thank you for the 4 people still watching, but I think it's gonna remain. I hope the internet gets better, but it's not doing the best right now. Okay, we're live. No, the rocket was supposed to not a. They delayed again? Okay, only a 5-minute delay. That's not too bad, but okay, never mind. I actually didn't delay. I'll be fine. All around test again. Yeah, not the best. 12 seconds of delay. Yeah, everyone fast forward your videos to make it better. Cause it probably got some desync right now because of my internet. Sorry. Should we call them at launch? Maybe you guys could. You could call them at launch if you want. Yeah, my uploads at 2 kilobytes per second. That's like not the best. Yeah, I understand why you guys' stream are lagging. 20 seconds is way too much though. Oh, my download messed up a second.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're at T-Mon. Good, as Denise has talked about. All the propellants are nice and chilled down. You saw the big, beautiful
the fast forwarding. Let's go. That's good.
And feather on the rocket. She is looking beautiful. But we do have a little bit more time here. Why don't we take a moment to talk about the BE4 engines? We're looking at the vehicle right now. At the base of the vehicle, oh, that's a pretty shot right there. You see the 7 nozzles of the 7 BE4 engines. You want to tell us a little bit more, Denise?
Yeah, so
7 nozzles. I said like 9 before, but I guess it's 7.
Now these are the nation's first reusable oxidizer-rich staged combustion booster engines. They use liquid oxygen and liquefied natural gas, or LNG, which is essentially a commercial form of methane.
Yeah, and we selected LNG because it's cleaner burning and more efficient than kerosene, or also known as RP1, rocket propellant 1. That's what a lot of rockets use. It's also low cost and widely available, which is really important. Important when you're doing lots of launches, which is our intention for this New Glenn program. I should also note that we have done a ton of testing on the
from aviators
before
and that one is my
and
son.
we also want to keep those.
Okay, internet
costs
back,
down
internet
as well.
back, let's go.
All of it adds up, right?
Internet back, please.
And one of the coolest aspects, though, about LNG is that it
Say
can
six.
self-pressurize.
Okay, that's good enough.
It's tanked through a process known as autogenous repressurization, right? So
make sure you guys keep fast forward.
Need for costly and
how does
complex
viewers? I'm
systems
watching myself.
that use helium, which is pretty rare. So
He,
normally you got
helium
and other gases in there to push the pressures properly through the engines to get them ready to go. But with LNG, it basically goes on its own. That's what that means.
It's so fascinating. And, you know, in terms of power, each BE4 engine generates an impressive 550,000 pounds of thrust. So when you combine all 7 engines, New Glenn produces about 3.85 million pounds of thrust at launch. And just to put that into perspective, that's roughly half the thrust of a Saturn V rocket, which took humans to the moon. Imagine that power of 200 Boeing 737 airplane engines all firing at once. That's what we're looking at here.
That is a ton of power. You see that these images here, this video, this is from our test facility down in West Texas. And man, oh man, I've been down there actually for one of these tests. And our facility down in West Texas is in this valley. And it just reverberates. You feel like you're in the inside of a drum. It just shakes the entire valley. And I mean, it's just incredible. And we're putting 7 of those at the base of this vehicle. The other thing you should see in that video there is that it burns this really cool blue color. So that's another. I'm not saying that's why we chose this propellant, but it's a nice little bonus to it.
It sure is.
So a lot of power coming out of these engines.
Okay, it's only one person's watching, but
a lot of interesting technology that's gone into the turbo pumps too. You want to talk about that a little bit?
They sure are. So the turbo pumps, which are
so in case like people are actually watching,
are also incredibly powerful.
Hello, welcome back to the stream. We are currently 15 minutes away from the launch of let's go internet back up to Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket, a brand new rocket. You can see it to scale in the infographic right here. That's a Blue Origin kindly provided us by the stream. It'll be a main competitor to Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. And if you have any questions, just type in the chat. This is what you should
talk a little bit more here.
T-minus 8 minutes and 45 seconds
of the BE4 to the BE3U. You also have a comparison of the power of it as well. You know, it's both of these engines are highly sophisticated and have unique functionality built for New Glenn itself.
Okay, 7 second delay.
So for BE4, as we noted, we've got 7 of these engines. In total,
yeah, I hope it launches too. This rocket did get delayed 2 days.
Middle engines are Gimli engines that can.
It was gonna originally launch on Friday, but Thursday, but it got delayed. So hopefully it launches today. But we'll see.
Booster. Now, those 3 middle engines are going to
T-minus 15 minutes and 2 seconds.
Landing burns.
Okay.
And the other 4 engines.
I don't know. I might just go to sleep if it doesn't launch.
That gives us both the power that we need, but also the flexibility we need for different stages of flight.
And
I can't tell how people are watching, but
are produced at our manufacturing facility in Huntsville, Alabama, and they're tested rigorously at our facilities. Both
how many engines? Okay, so the first stage has 7 engines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the second stage has 2 BE3U engines.
And those have already flown successfully to space. So
but the timer went away.
Very proud of that.
When we start again.
Already flown to space, and can't wait to see them power this this New Glenn rocket as well.
Not
They are
again.
going to be rattling this building very, very shortly. Well, with that, at T-minus 35 minutes to go until launch, let's toss it back to the rocket and check out New Glenn as this vehicle gets ready for its launch to space.
Just launch already. Just launch, please. I'm scared I might scrub the launch actually. It's getting like dangerously close to it's getting it's already halfway past the window close, and that's a bit scary because there's a chance it might not launch today, unfortunately. I really don't have much to talk about. I think I talked about everything I could. Not that much to talk about anymore, unfortunately. Yeah. Got delayed again. That's real. It was supposed to launch an hour 15 minutes ago, but yeah, that's not the best. There's one more delay in ending stream, but yeah, there's one more delay in ending stream, but that's it. I was really excited for this launch. Oh, we're 19,000 views behind? That is really bad. Yeah, maybe start back launching before this actually. Yeah, I'll turn off my webcam and mic. I'll join back later, but yeah. What is the problem? We don't really know. They haven't really been clear with that, but there might be better issues, but there might really be better issues.
Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We are at T-minus 25 minutes and 40 seconds to go until launch. You may have seen we've been adding some time to the clock. This is to allow our teams to go through their checklists. Keep in mind there are multiple sub-teams that are up there in launch and mission control. We want to make sure that everything is ready to go, and if some of those items on the checklist take a little bit of extra time, we're going to do so, especially since it is NG1. We want to make sure that everybody is prepared and everything is aligned. We should also mention, again, we have to keep our eyes on the weather, both here and downrange. So with that, let's continue to check out New Glenn on the pad as this rocket and our teams get ready for NG1. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We're at T-minus 23 minutes and 45 seconds to go till launch. With all this action going on upstairs at Launch and Mission Control, why don't we check in with our friend Maggie. Maggie, you got me?
Loud and clear, Ariane.
Right on. What's going on up there? What are you hearing about the status of our teams?
Yep, things are busy. The team is continuing to work through a few anomalies before we can proceed into terminal count. So we've got the engineers looking at all that data. We've got the controllers working through workarounds. So something that I think people don't always think about is that we have an enormous amount of what we're doing here in pre-launch procedures that's, scripted, we can plan it. But when off-nominal things are happening, we've got a team of controllers who can manually operate these systems. So the team that we talked about in our last bit, they are actually going through and able to turn things on and off, put different pressure through different valves. They are working through everything they can to make sure that we have a chance to launch today.
Fantastic. Yes, it's, we run through, when you talk about all the preparation for a launch, of course, we talk about, testing the rocket itself, but we also go through a lot of these simulations in terms of the operations with our team. And you test as much as you can, you go through as many rehearsals as possible, but sometimes day of, you gotta put all, that's why we got the really smart people in there so that they can work through whatever it is they're finding that might be a little bit off, and that's what our team is doing up there. Maggie, what else? Sorry, go ahead.
No, the team here has gotten some good practice. I think we all saw the hot fire that we recently successfully made it through. So that is, almost everything up until launch. Before that, we had a successful second stage hot fire. Those are those BE3U engines. And before that, we were doing tanking tests, mass simulators. We've done component testing, system testing. And a lot of the engineers that are working in this room are actually responsible engineers on the floor. So they've gotten their hands on this hardware. They know their systems.
Excellent. Very good point. I think that I've always appreciated what we do here at Blue Origin. We tend to rotate our engineers. A lot of them, as you said, get to go down to the floor, see their hardware maybe that they've designed, talk to the men and women that are fabricating, but then also assembling the vehicle. They are very, very in tune, in touch with this vehicle. So if there are things for them to work, especially in these last minutes, we've got the right team to do it. Maggie, I want to thank you again for bringing us all the details. We've got a couple of minutes to go here. We got 20 minutes and 47 seconds to go until launch. Why don't we take a look at New Glenn as this rocket gets ready to go to space. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us. We are T-minus 19 minutes to go until launch here, and while our teams are continuing to get aligned, why don't we take a moment to chat a little bit about this amazing building we are in, the factory at Rocket Park here in Florida. This is where it all comes together, where we bend the metal on New Glenn. I literally see people down there bending metal, pulling, putting the components together, testing, cleaning. But also, not only do we talk about, just all the intricate pieces and parts here, but to build a rocket like this, the sheer scale of the facility here, this factory, but also the other buildings around here are just mind-blowing.
It really is quite impressive. So Rocket Park is essentially where we bring our rocket dreams to life. We're talking about state-of-the-art manufacturing and assembly areas designed to produce rockets efficiently and, of course, sustainably. This is where the stages of New Glenn come together.
Yeah, exactly. And the folks here at Rocket Park are not just building rockets, they're really shaping the future of space travel. I should say, I've had the good fortune of being here for 10 years now, and I have seen this facility, the whole park, in addition to Launch Complex 36, come together, and it is just amazing. Like, really from the bottom up, and the ability to build the next generation rocket in the next generation rocket factory. Like, our team is given what they need to make just an incredible vehicle. Why don't we take a deeper look at the home of New Glenn, Rocket Park?
Welcome to Blue Origin's Rocket Park in Florida, the home of New Glenn. This is where our orbital rocket is designed, built, integrated, launched, refurbished, and reflown, all within a 9-mile radius along Florida's Space Coast. Rocket Park is an active operations site for many Blue Origin activities, including manufacturing, integration and testing for New Glenn, and production of our Blue Moon lunar landers and future programs. Florida's Space Coast is 72 miles long and steeped in more than 6 decades of human spaceflight history. We stand on the shoulders of giants. New Glenn will help us build a road to space for the benefit of Earth. It's the foundation of everything we will accomplish. It will deliver cargo and crew to anywhere, including the moon, and help us establish a permanent lunar presence. It will enable us to harness the resources of space and launch all kinds of infrastructure to make space accessible, usable, and affordable for humans. The factory on Merrow Island is the centerpiece of Rocket Park. It's here where New Glenn is built and tested. The high bay is where New Glenn becomes real. Raw material enters at one end, and completed rocket stages roll out the other side. From there, New Glenn heads to the surface coatings facility for its thermal protection, paint, and artwork. It then heads to tank cleaning and test, or TCAT, for pressure testing and cleaning. The factory is also home to New Glenn's Mission Control. On launch days, Mission Control comes alive as the rocket rolls out from its hangar down the road and goes vertical at Launch Complex 36. This historic launch site was rebuilt from the ground up just for New Glenn. Protected by 2 lightning towers, almost double the height of the Statue of Liberty, New Glenn prepares for liftoff at mile marker 0. This is where the road to space begins.
What a beautiful area Rocket Park is in. There's just so much history here on the Space Coast, and we are eager to write our own chapter with New Glenn.
Absolutely. There really is just so much history, and there's something to be said about the testing and integration and design teams all working so closely together. I know that working on the programs myself, being able to talk to the designers and the people who are making the hardware is just so valuable to increase communication and efficiency, and our campus really allows for that.
100%. The physical proximity is really, really important. And it's not known, actually, but historically rockets have launched out of the Cape, but they haven't been built here. And so to be able to build our rocket here, do the integration here of the rocket, but then also obviously the payload with the rocket. And then when we get GS1, we get the booster back, we'll be doing all of the refurbishment here. That is so important, that co-location, to have that all come together. And, you know, I love that video because you see all the action. As I mentioned, you know, it's so funny. I was looking through photos earlier today, and I've got photos in the flame trench when they were just putting it up. You know, they were pouring concrete. You know, I remember being in this facility when there weren't doors on. It was just, you know, dirt on the ground. I remember no joke, we had a poll when they were clearing the land for this rocket park as to how many turtles we would find, because we have to relocate all of the turtles because there's incredible wildlife in this area. So of course we wanted to make sure that we protect those animals and the wildlife. And so we had a poll as to how many turtles we were going to find. God, I wish I could remember.
I was going to say, do you
remember? I know. I didn't win it, clearly. But, you know, there's just so much work that went into building this facility from the ground up. And to be here today is just, it feels surreal in many ways. And, you know, that I was just talking a little bit, and we basically stripped it down to the ground, rebuilt it for this world-class rocket for decades to come. You know, we invested in this facility knowing that we're going to be here a while. With that said, we also here at Blue Origin like to pay homage to the giants who have the shoulders upon which we stand, right? Like the vehicle, of course, is named New Glenn.
So, it got delayed again, and I think this is it, kind of. It should have launched an hour 40 minutes, and I think I'm gonna end stream now, honestly. Yeah. I guess none of you guys are correct. It never launched. Okay, I need to stream. 3, 2. No, I'm gonna end it. It got delayed again.
कितना हो गया?
Huh?
कितना delete हो गया?
I got too much. 37 minutes.
Oh yeah, ऐसा बहुत है. Maybe I think I'll cancel.
The window's about to end too. So I'm saying stream 3, 2, 1, and bye.